to come back with that, man. So Imagination is bubbling for 2015. The Filthy Dish is cooking for this Friday, and I'm just excited, Ted.
That's good. That's good. I mean, we talked whenever we would go in barbershop, and it would be a mixture of sports and pop culture and, gossip and everything else. Really just a lot of hot stories where we would put our own twist into it. Tell us how the Filthy Dish differs. Really, like, let's say if you had an elevator, your elevator speech, where you're meeting with some executive, some radio executive, and you hop on the elevator, and they love barbershop, and they say, okay, but we heard you got the Filthy Dish, and tell us how it differs in 30 seconds or less.
Night and day as far as the language. The voice is the same, but the style is completely different. The topics are, like I said, more focused are completely focused on pop culture. We talk about relationships, interactions with, between folks, and we throw in, even though we have that adult, language, there's a lot of positive things that we weave into that show. Whether or not we're talking about some support celebrity who's, gotten themselves caught up in, some kind of, skirmishes with the law or problems with drugs, and how, what's the root cause of those things? The people are screaming out for help, and they don't have that help that they need. They're just surrounded by yes men, and you don't get that on Perez Hilton. You're not going to get that on Gossip or Nicole Beachy or those different types of shows. They are going to stay 100% negative, and they just dwell in the negative. We address it, but I like to refer to us as pop culture spin doctors, if you will. So that's my 30-second elevator speech, brother. I mean, you're not going to get anything like this anywhere else. The Filthy Dish is unique in of itself. Gotcha.
So tell us about and like I know some things behind the scenes that our fans would like to hear. Our fans, which are your fans, because your audience is my audience, and we all share this. I mean, it's not incestuous like the AFC East with Rex and this one and Tannenbaum and all of that type of stuff, but we commingle together a certain way, and I don't know. So tell us about involvement with Pink Celebrity.
Yes. Pink Celebrity is a pretty big blog that deals with, also they have a positive spin to their approach to delivering celebrity news as well. The founder and owner of that, Yvonne Emilsari out there in California, is just a wonderful, wonderful person. We linked up maybe about 6 or 7 months ago, and we just formed this synergy, man. She was trying to get what they were delivering in the blogs out on into like a podcast radio format, and I was just starting the Filthy Dish, so it was kind of like a perfect marriage. And what we did was, in forming that partnership, one of her celebrity entertainment reporters out there in California who goes on the scene. She's on the red carpet. She's at all the award shows. She's doing her thing. She's so nice to give some of her time to come on the show and talk about what's happening from an insider perspective. So that definitely gives us another extra level of entertainment by having that, real good source. So I'm excited about what we have been doing in 2014 and what we are going to continue to do. We're going to improve that segment with the young lady's name is Miles Blockson. Was it Only One Miles on Twitter for all of those out there who want to follow her. And Pink Celebrity is at Pink, P-Y-N-K, Celebrity all together. And if I'm shouting them out, of course I got to shout out The Filthy Dish, at The Filthy Dish on Twitter, and me, yours truly, who you're listening to, at Genuinely H5. But man, it's a great partnership. Wonderful people, what they're doing out there, and they rock with us. I mean, on the Barbershop Sports Show, that's kind of when we really first started rocking. As you recall, she let one of her artists that she was managing come on our show. She's actually the daughter of the owner of the Sacramento Kings, and nice. That was a great interview. And it's just been a great partnership, man. We're just working together. We're going to try to see if we can do some television this year or the next year, and we're just going to keep growing that thing, my brother.
That's good. Since we do have roots in the barbershop, I'm not going to go in and ask you about Deflategate, Spygate, Gronkgate, Bradygate, or any of that type of stuff. I guess an early prediction, Patriots, Seahawks, in another, 10 days?
Man,
11 days?
It's funny that you just said that, because I literally just put out a tweet about Deflategate. For me, and the tweet actually said, I can't believe Deflategate is actually a thing. People really enjoy making something out of nothing. I mean, bottom line is, did it have anything to do with the score, 45-7? Probably not. The team was just better than the other team, and that was it. But as far as the Super Bowl goes, Brother Ted, after seeing what I saw with Russell Wilson, where you remember that movie? You remember that movie, Angels in the Outfield?
Yes.
I gotta say, they may have a new movie coming out called Angels on the Gridiron, man, because there was no way in the world the Seahawks were supposed to win that game. I have never seen a collapse like that live, and to see that young man come back and do his thing with that defense, the way that they're playing, I don't know, man. I mean, it's going to be tough for me to bet against the Seahawks. I don't think it's going to be a blowout or anything like they did the Broncos last year, but I definitely see the Seahawks coming out on top.
I think that's safe to say. Because these guys turned it up at the right time. They put it together at the right time, and that stuff that I saw, it was 19-7 with maybe, just over 4 minutes to go, and the next thing I know, it was 22-19. And then what he did in the overtime was something. And just to think about it, there was 4 interceptions along the way, but he didn't stop. He kept going, man. He didn't quit. And just a level of emotion at the end of the game by those guys because, you see how hard in the modern-day sports era it is to repeat, especially in the NFL, where it's, you're the hero today and you're the GOAT tomorrow or next season. So yeah. I think that's important. Next week we have Dana O.G., who's NFL female. She's a writer from NFL Female. She writes for the Seahawks. We're going to have her on here next week to talk about, to give her prediction. I'm going to get someone from NFL Female who writes for the Patriots. I think her name is Pamela Michelle.
Nice.
To get on here and talk about, she's going to ride for Tom Brady like she's never ridden before. But
that's going to be good radio.
Next we're going to have a good friend, Aris, from the Gridiron Mo app. It's an app that's really, really amazing, and I'm not sure why a lot of folks don't know about it or haven't used it, but it allows live voting during games. Just to say a few, we're going to have our friend, my friend, Kristen Parmalee, who I mentioned earlier on, because she's done stuff that we do because, we could sit here and we could talk about podcasting and everything else like that, but by career, we're IT. So we understand the technology, and I have to bring up Kristen Parmalee because her group developed an app to help folks that have dyslexia. And it's just a really powerful story because what do most folks do? She noticed, she had her son tested and it came out that her son was dyslexic. What do parents do? Do they mope around? Do they do this? She did something about it. So I just like the mindset because I bring up people like that because the mindset, I noticed the similar mindset with you. You're an entrepreneur. You're a podcaster. You want to get that word out. You want to get to that next level that we all want to get to, but we just don't know the secret sauce. So, I mean, it's a pleasure, and it's always an honor to have you on because I think back to maybe the late 2012, you and I sitting talking on the phone, and as much as we talk on the phone, people wouldn't, they wouldn't have any idea that we're about 1,200 miles geographically separated. You would never know. So that just says something about the power of barbershop, the power of the brotherhood. And a few weeks ago, I had some other former barbershop members, like the old crew, or the first line of defense guys, they come on to talk it through, and it's always good to connect with my brothers and talk this through. But I guess we're gonna stop right here and say, Ez, tell us the best way to get in contact with you, because there's so many different ways on social media because you're all over the place. You got your digital imprint is sick, if I can say the least. So tell us the best way to get in contact with you.
Best way, I'm trying to streamline it across Google Plus and Facebook and Twitter, is going to be @genuinelyh5. That's the best way to get in touch with me in social media. And once again, the Filthy Dish is also @The Filthy Dish, one word altogether, and we run Friday nights starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Got you. Because we're going to give you a round of applause that you're used to hearing.
No doubt, man. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.
No doubt. And we're going to close out with our outro song, Change and Speak, done by so many, Simon, De La Soul, and others. So we're going to close out with that. We love you. We'll be back with you next week. We'll be in touch via social media during the week. We'll get back at you.